vibrations, sweet babies. So, feel free to join me in dropping into the space a little bit. This message has been coming through, and I will say, has been revving up literally all morning. So I just felt like, you know what, I need to sit down and shuffle my cards really before I get too focused on my day, because this energy to me feels very powerful, and I choose that word thoughtfully because it is really a personal power reading. So I feel like I was feeling into a lot of spectator energy and the other energy, and more so like the nuisance of it and the what is this going on, and like feeling into that. And gradually it's been unfolding and making sense as to why this has been showing up, at least for me, collective. And as always, we're in this very interesting journey as a whole. So there's a chance that maybe some of the things that I've been learning through this experience could also be useful and insightful to you. So that's why I'm here sharing this. There was a part of me that was like, I have plenty of audio recordings. I actually just need to sit down and turn them into videos to post on YouTube. But this reading was coming through, and I'm like, it's not even about that. I'm going to do this regardless. I'm going to do this. I'm going to feel into this. I'm going to pull cards on this and have a reading on this, whether I had a YouTube channel or not, because this is what I do. And that is sort of this underlying energy that I feel like is partly at play here with the whole idea of personal power, of just like, oh, this is just what I do. I have this gift, I have this quality, I have this ability, and it's really not for anyone else. It's not even about anyone else at the end of the day. This is just truly who I am. I've embraced this as who I am, and I'm really going to access this and feel into this because it's my path, regardless of whether someone agrees with it, aligns with it, or so on and so forth. The reason that I think this is important is because it's contributing to the softness in how you're showing up right now. There's just this sort of relaxed inner peace, inner contentment with who you are, that's becoming very unshakable. And I think the less that you react and the less that you are triggered or moved out of your character by a specific situation, and I'm just going to say any situations, because what I really feel like is whatever kind of, I want to just say third party, spectator, outsider, oppositional energy you have been facing lately, however it was coming at you. It could have been from legal things. It could have been from, personal. It could have been a coworker. It could be a neighbor. It could be so many different things, right? But I just feel like for you, it has felt like this little gnat, this like little bug that just like won't go away, and it's been this nuisance and this annoyance. And then part of you is just like, oh wait, like, hold on, I forgot who I am in this situation. Like, this is literally so beneath the energy that I need to be showing up in. And I did a reading not that long ago talking about kind of stepping out of that warrior mode. I've been getting a lot of like knight, king, queen type energy and symbolism. And this is no shock or surprise. Swords may be significant. This could also be a message from Archangel Michael letting you know that you are highly protected in this situation. Interesting. Grandfather energy has been showing up very prominently in the last couple of days. There's just this shift in realizing I've been wanting to use, as I've been feeling into this energy, even just as I was thinking about it, finding myself feeling into it, feels very divine masculine, if I'm being quite honest. I don't really love the whole idea of like divine. I just, the trending words kind of give me the ick. If we're going to use trending words, right? Because I just feel like it dilutes the real message behind it at times, and it gets lost in vain. But there is this very masculine quality that's coming through, and I always say, let's leave gender out of it. Let's talk about the energy within, okay? Like, it is more so about, no matter who you are in this time, the reason it feels very king, the reason it feels very masculine is because you're being asked to witness. You're not being asked to receive anything. You're not being asked to heal anything. You're not being asked to, even the masculine gift of insert yourself. You're being asked to witness the situation from a bird's eye view. Because sometimes when we're in warrior mode, we cannot see necessarily. Actually, I'm going to retract that, because I think the conscious warrior is looking at the situation from a bird's eye view and knows when to act and when not to act, and to choose the good fight, right? But going back to another reading I just did recently, where it was more so, you're in a place where it's not, when it's not your fight. When maybe it's time to let someone else speak up on your behalf, or when someone else can handle the situation, and you can kind of fall back into your, rightful seat at the throne, not to sound conceited, because everyone has their own throne. Like, at the end of the day, we're all just kind of sitting in a circle hanging out. But people don't see this. People like to be in their power dynamics or in their ego, and come from wounded, unconscious places. And that doesn't mean that you come out of your space, in your own throne, in your own mentality, right? So yeah, there's this feeling when you don't respond, when you don't show your teeth, when you don't try to defend yourself, when you just simply witness. Not only are you giving this situation, for just an overall summary of what we all might be feeling into, this situation is going to have to really just be in its own energy, because you're not adding anything to it. And sometimes there is nothing more horrifying than someone having to face their own stuff and their own energy. Because when they're the only person throwing ugly or negativity or whatever into the situation, there's nothing else to look at. And it'll also give you a bit of clarity on something. And we're going to talk about that, because I think what this situation, as you're finding out, the more you kind of feel your way through it, as uncomfortable as it may have been at times, you're realizing, okay, there's something here. There's something to this. I want to say that it's really a perspective. Exactly. Enlightenment. Yes. Something that you are focused on is changing in the situation. It's like you're narrowing in and you're seeing something much more clearly. The more that you pull yourself, it's like it's almost this counterintuitive thing. It's like the more you pull back from the situation, you're actually seeing it clearer, instead, because you might be somebody who in the past, or you are familiar with in the past, just being so like laser focused, maybe even pigeonholed, or just very much in your own perspective, or having your own opinions, your own judgments. This could have been a defense mechanism. This could have just been something like a real strength or combative quality to you. That's something that you may have worked on, or you've just gone through enough things in your life that now it's a little bit easier for you to pull back and see a more bird's eye view. Hawk medicine was coming through very strongly recently when I was reading into some spectator energy as well, and it's come up a couple of times. I'm going to say that that's relevant to this reading. So yeah, it's offering you a more enlightened perspective. You are, if I'm going to be completely honest, what I'm really feeling into is that this situation has offered you a perspective on the worst case scenario. Like this situation, I have been feeling into a person, a specific person who may have been casting like daggers at you energetically, whatever. Yeah, I literally just pulled the card energy as I said energetically. That's hilarious. So, on an energetic level, this person has been messing with you, okay, for lack of better words. And sometimes it's like, how do you even speak on this type of thing? How do you even bring awareness to this type of thing? Because it feels so intangible, right? It's just something that's happening on a felt sense, energetic level. And I believe that you and maybe this other person are both kind of going through that. But there really is this like need to continue to pull yourself away, pull your energy away from the situation. Do not feed energy into the situation at all. I'm almost feeling like let this person wear themselves out. But there is for sure you need to cut cords. Something has connected you to one another in uncomfortable ways. Probably ways that people don't want to talk about, if we're being completely honest. This is what I mean. It's like, it's very intangible. It's very intangible. But I feel like this is giving you perspective on how to recover. Oh my goodness. Dreams are going to be very significant for you. I just remembered a dream I had last night. Pieces of my dreams have been coming back to me all morning. There might be some significant symbols or messages coming through for you in your dreams at the moment. Dreams have always been one of the most powerful ways that I have connected to my subconscious and my intuition. My dreams have like literally saved me in multiple instances because I had the same dreams as other people around me. And what was happening in those dreams was very telling of who I was around. And there's been multiple instances when someone spoke on what they were dreaming about, and I'm like, oh my God, we had the same dream. This is a warning. There might be some cautions going on with the symbols in your dreams. You'll know when someone is in your energy, trying to access your energy, on this whole topic, because, You need to for sure be protecting your energy, not to sound scary or not to be like freaking you out or fear mongering or anything. I'm just thinking, oh my God, it's so funny because I was literally thinking about how sometimes I feel like my readings are literally Whoopi Goldberg and Ghost, and it's just like, you in danger, girl. But it's like sometimes I feel like it's important for me to emphasize that you can be protecting and preserving your energy. Like, you are not just accessible. Like, you don't have to just withstand energetic bullying and bullshit, to be quite honest. And I feel like, yes, energy just came out again. I can't even pretend to ignore what is coming through, and that's exactly where I feel like you're at as well. Is like, and you are very highly aware. You might be calling things before other people are seeing it. Your dreams might be alluding to different things. I'm getting a little all over the place. Let me go back. Dreams. I will often have dreams, or I won't have dreams. I'll like wake up very tired, very out of it, and somebody will message me and be like, you were in my dream last night. And I'm like, can I just be at home? Can I just be chilling in my own dreams? Like, why am I hanging out in other people's dreams? If somebody spiritual and woo-woo wants to tell me what that might be, and maybe how to also like not let it happen all the time, that would be super great, because we gotta look out for each other out here. Not that it's an awful thing, like a lot of times it's friends, but realistically it's like becoming a thing where I'm like, why am I the one who's going to other people's dreams? Like, can they come here to me? I'm not dreaming of y'all. You know what I mean? So, yes, I've always been very much like, I go back to specific dreamscapes. I should probably look more into astral travel, because I think it is more aligned with those types of like conversations. So I'm not going to get too far into all of that. But you'll know, the reason I'm bringing this up is because you'll know the difference between someone literally, their energy in the mix and messing with your subconscious mind, right? Versus you dreaming about something and you're like, yeah, that was straight up my own brain from the weird ass day that I had, processing all the BS and the funny things that showed up, and the person I talked to was in my dream and they had like a giant foot, like obviously those things we can be like, that's fully mine. But I feel as though with you being in this very healing space right now, yes, messages, feather, symbolism, symbols right now, exactly, your dreams. Yeah, you're for sure, yes, wow. You are for sure in a place of like healing, and this energy is just making you more receptive. It's making you more in tune with energy, with divine guidance, with the feminine gifts of intuition, insight, what are the words I'm looking for? Why is this escaping my brain right now? It's intuition, insight, like visionary type gifts. It's just being able to be really receptive and in tune to the mysticism and the softness and the things unseen and the flow and all of these beautiful qualities that I think overall society kind of minimizes an importance for, or even minimizes the existence of. But when you are in a healing space and regulating your nervous system, you'll find that a lot of these quote unquote woo-woo, that's what I usually just say to make it a little bit more digestible for all those who find their way here. It's very natural. These things are just very natural and innately belong to the human experience. And it's actually more so unnatural that we block ourselves off from these things. And we might experience like imbalances in some of these areas. Some people go through things like a spiritual psychosis where they are out of touch because they lean too far into these things as a way to comfort or be soothed through their experiences, and it actually happens with a lot of different mental health problems. However, there's this feeling of when you're going through these, I just have the notion that you're really trying to go through some like inner healing, and you're putting yourself through some like healing work, or you're facing some things from your past, or you're at least making this decision to show up differently or let go of some old ways. Just there was a choice, there was a decision that was made over the last few months to just be a little bit more conscious about something in some way. And this required you to look at things and really heal through things. And it's going to be directly affecting not only your sensitivity, how in tune you are, how aware you are to your world around you, but it's also going to impact your personal power. Right now, the more joy that you have, the more powerful you are. Like, there is nothing that really pisses people off like you living in your own ecstatic bliss. It's so weird, but like truly that's what the energy of this is. It's like someone really wants you to be in their like kind of illness and sickness, and this person's just, they've been unwell and they have been casting this or projecting this energy onto you, or maybe just really so polarized by the way that you've been able to just be joyful and find flow and bring this beautiful kind of divine guidance energy into your life. It's like it's like one of these situations I've had multiple times in my life where it's like, if you are not so resistant towards what you think of me, I'd actually probably have something for you that really makes you feel good. Or we could have been able to bond and connect on something in a really cool, beautiful way. But like, their own wounds are really what are keeping them from being able to experience that for themselves. And that's just not on you. I'm going to say, like, honestly, a lot of the cards that came out here are really, really beautiful. It, to me, shows energy of, and ancestry just popped out a couple times, twice. Honoring your roots, hopefulness, rainbow. A lot of these cards are really just speaking more so to the more things unseen, the more spiritual side of life. Like, these cards are really not indicating like material things, home life, that kind of stuff. It's really talking about you on an energetic level and on a spiritual level, how in tune you are. And it's really beautiful. It's really beautiful. What I see is really gorgeous and beautiful, but it's so unfortunate that other people are just not able to experience you beyond their own wounding, beyond their own level of comprehension. And not everyone is your people, and that's okay. So going back to this initial message of feeling like it's kind of more so time for you to witness and step back from this situation. I mean, not that you've ever really been involved in a situation to begin with. But to me, there's just like a really big indication that, like I said, they're gonna tire themselves out. But there's just like a level of clarity that you're like, oh, this person's really unwell. This person's really not okay. And it's not even so much about like pity. It's just at first when I was reading into this, it was like this energy of like self-worth, knowing what's worth your time, worth your energy, worth your, pick your battles type of a thing. But now, as you sit with the things that you're seeing and you're just witnessing this kind of experience play out, it just feels more so like you are in this very like queen, king, maybe even in a kind of high priestess place where you're like, I would actually rather pray for them because they seem genuinely unwell. They seem genuinely like they're struggling. Yeah. Something to do with travel might be significant. You like going away somewhere, or earth signs might be significant. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Yep, another travel indication. Plane. You might be attending someone's wedding sometime soon. I'm not sure. Fire sign, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. There's this like very unpleasant like energy that I feel like is kind of like bubbling up. I really okay. I'm not even gonna go too far into it because I have done the spectator energy. I've read into this before. It's all the same. It's all very similar. Somebody who just does not know who they are might not ever know who they are. There might be like literally mental health problems going on where this person is like not in their right state of mind. This is somebody who struggles with their relationships, struggles with using people, not even necessarily for monetary gain. This is somebody who might be very just like vindictive, manipulative, and at their core of cores, they are somebody who is deeply fearful, deeply afraid of being alone and being left to their own devices. And because of this, they become extremely manipulative in order to keep people around. And there's a little bit of a chameleon-like energy that's showing up here. Someone who might struggle with finances, might struggle with some kind of addictions of some kind. There is for sure a feeling of like loss of reality, distorted reality. So yeah. Let's just move on from that because it's just like been there, done that. You're familiar with it. Excuse me. interesting. Yeah, your higher self has like been showing up in this situation, and like avoidance has been actually really a skillful trait for you in this current moment, which might have been surprising. Yeah, a lot of like protect your energy, evil eye type symbolism going on here. Before I try to decipher some more of these symbols, and then I'm going to let you go, friends, the energy that I really want to make sure that I speak to is this idea of like you realizing that a strong leader isn't the loudest necessarily, isn't the strongest, the best at fighting, the one who can defeat a ton of obstacles, things, whatever. Although, you know, that might be the ideal candidate for somebody who is strong and has leadership qualities, maybe on the battlefield, right? But when it comes to leading, and like I said, I've been getting so much like Night Kingdom sort of, and I'm not even watching anything on TV or anything. It's just been showing up for me in weird random places so it's just more so this idea of like a real powerful and probably successful kingdom has a leader that is able to be discerning on when it is time to be merciful. The idea of mercy and merciful is very, very important. That is really at the core of what this energy is, right? Because I was telling you earlier at the start of this, it's like, it's not even so much about them and their annoying, unwell traits that are, seeping out into other people's lives and negative in that way or whatever. This is very much more so about how this actually, in the craziest of ways, can really add to your own personal power. Not only are you given a perfect example of the worst case scenario, what you don't want to happen in your own life, like you're seeing like this person, and it's almost like they're just making all these choices that you just yourself, you're like, yeah, I never want to do that. I don't want to make these choices. I do not want to live like this. It's like this feeling of, I'm going to just keep it a buck. I don't want to be hateful. I don't want to be angry. I don't want to mistreat my partner. And I'm being completely honest about like the kind of qualities that have been showing up related to this spectator energy. However it might be showing up to you. Like, I don't want to be deceitful. I don't want to be sneaky. I don't want to like have things hidden. I don't want to be combative. I don't want to act from my shadows. Like, I don't want to negatively impact others, right? It's like, that's it at the bottom line. And this person, in the way that they are handling a situation, or the situation at hand right now, is just asking you, do you want to act like this? Do you want to act like that? Is that who you want to be? And you are given like a clear-cut example of what that looks like before your very eyes. And you are now able to just have this clarity of like, not at all. Absolutely not. Like, that is not who I want to be. That is not how I want to act. This is not what I stand for. And by having this kind of clarity around this person just truly being someone more so that's worth a prayer, everybody, and that's kind of what it comes down to, is like you're coming to this enlightened, evolved place where you're like, actually, you want to be my enemy, but like truly all I have for you is a prayer. Like all I have for you is just truly a prayer that you find peace and healing and recover from whatever this is. And it feels very much like this is offering you, I feel like, the full evolvement from coming out of that warrior mode that you've had to operate in for so long, or that felt safe and felt comfortable operating in for so long, right? You're now coming into like this final evolution where the warrior, where the knight actually like takes off the armor and like meets the other person at an eye level and is like, I don't want this fight with you. Like, I want to show you kindness. I want to see good things for you. One of my favorite quotes is, I destroy my enemy when I make them my friends. Now, I also believe that boundaries are a real thing and very important, okay? Because there's a lot of people who, I will not give them the title of my friend, but I will always treat other people with kindness. And this is like this place now where you're like, it's not about a test of strength. It's not about showing that I could beat this battle or win this battle. It is truly recognizing like when to show someone mercy, because they are literally like, this fight is like all they have. You know, it's like they're clinging to this win. They're clinging to this fight. They're like clinging to, it's like this desperation. I can't help but just like have this imagery of like two knights like dueling, and this one knight just like won't give up, even though they're fighting a it's like a non-existent fight, you know, and the other one has to just be like, look, give it up. There's no fight to be had here. There's no fight anymore. There never was one in the first place. You're exhausting yourself. You're pulling yourself away from your own strength. Don't you see that you too have a throne that you could be sitting on, and you're sitting here exhausting yourself with this fight for what? For what? Hang it up. Sit down. Relax. And like, you in that embodying that energy, you showing up in that space, while it's probably very activating to this situation, to this person, it's actually like really the most healing thing that you can offer at the same time. So I think I'm going to just leave it at that. There's some Scorpio, Leo, Pisces. Venus may be important and significant. You might want to be looking at like your Venus sign. This might be helpful to your journey at this current point. Maybe also your Mars, which would make a lot of sense, to be quite honest. Those are like, you know the old saying, like, boys are from Mars, girls are from Venus or something. Like, I don't remember exactly how that goes, but it's like that oppositional energy. Like, Venus is like the goddess of love, and then you have Mars, which is like Aries, independence, aggression, and whatever, intensity in that way. So when you're looking at both of those, you can kind of see, okay, here's where I'm the lover and here's where I'm a fighter, and how do I bring those into balance and bring those into harmony. Karmic masculine showing up here. So in a way, you're being activated to show up in a karmic masculine way, but almost by just like truly having that strength to discern when not to engage and to avoid the situation with this very like focused, I don't know why due diligence wants to come out of my mouth, but it's like this focus on your peace. It's this focus on yourself. It's your focus on your discipline. It's your focus on your, just like what your own your focus on your own peace, holding space for your own peace, witnessing when this activates you, but also witnessing how this person is activated, but by creating and maintaining distance and avoiding that situation. So, yeah. I hope that this helps you to feel like a little bit of like a new perspective on the situation as the situation is unfolding to actually give you a whole new perspective. So far, it's been a frustrating, like ongoing occurring theme, and I kind of keep feeling like, when am I gonna stop talking about this? When is this going to stop showing up, to be quite honest? I don't know, because the more annoyed I get about talking about this energy, that's exactly my point. It's like I can't allow myself to be activated by like the energies at play here. It's showing up. So let me speak on this, because this is what I do, right? Like, you're not going to take me out of what I do. I speak on the energies at play. I let my collective know what's going on here. I give insights on how to move through, not the reading I want to give, but the reading that shows up. And that is actually what I think I'm going to pull cards on next, friends. I really want to speak on the topic of deciding to be one of the woo-woo. Welcome. Because it's not a path. Oh, hold on. Ooh, some symbols were hidden. This is really a beautiful time for you to harness the energy of the throat. You're learning a lot of lessons about the throat space and the throat center, and how to access this as a powerful gift, and how to make sure you don't yield it as a weapon unconsciously, and how to use it in a very strong and mindful way. Days feel like years, so perhaps this is you or someone else in your situation, but it feels as though when it comes to how this is playing out, it's just like this ongoing, it feels exhausting, it feels like it's going on for too long sort of energy to the situation. I also very much agree with that, so hopefully there will be some resolution to that soon. I did see a card indicating that there might be, so that would be great. But I do also see that this is bringing in some kind of blessing for you, like I also mentioned in a previous reading. So yeah, I encourage you to check those out if this was resonating with you. You might find some other insights within there. Flamingos may be significant. But yeah, I think I am going to pull some cards on choosing to be woo-woo. If you and your heart of hearts are like, you know what, I feel myself awakening to this energy. I feel myself connecting to source. I feel like I'm tapped into the symbols and the messages. Like I'm feeling like, yeah, what does that mean for me? What is that like? Yes, exactly. Metamorphosis, butterfly medicine. I'm gonna pull some cards on that here and share that next, and really just give you a little bit of insight on what that experience was like for myself, and what to kind of expect perhaps on your own journey with it. Okay, sending you lots of love in, and I will talk to you very soon.